Hello all you gong players out there. I'm Mick from Gongs Unlimited, and today we're going to look over this Paiste 28-inch symphonic gong with Tyloi cymbals. And what we're going to do to it is clean it with 7 different cleaning agents that we have. We're going to see how each one of them turns out, and we're going to talk a little bit about each of them as we go. I'm going to start here by taping off different sections of the gong so we can clean each section independently. The first product we're going to clean this gong with is a product called Flitz. It's actually one of my favorites. I've used it on a lot of gongs, from German to Chinese to Thai. Usually doesn't leave any residue and doesn't take anything off, let's say. So when used properly, Flitz is a really great product, and it actually leaves a protective layer behind when you're done with it. So I know this product won't remove some of these logos on this gong, so I'm going to use it on a spot that doesn't have a logo, so I can test some other products to see if they'll take off these printed on logos or not. Flitz is a blue paste like this. It's pretty thick. You don't have to worry about it spilling out. And you just need a little bit. So whenever I apply products to gongs like this, I always like to try to rub with the vertical lines. If, like this Paiste has vertical lines, other gongs have different configurations of lines, let's say, that are scraped and etched into the gong. But I always try to go with the lines. That way, if there's any little tiny scrapes that occur, they are almost not noticeable, as long as you stay within the lines. After applying a thin layer of Flitz to the gong, you'll want to go through and remove it with paper towels. It'll come off black on the towel, and that's okay. Again, with the lines when you can, or when you're thoughtful enough to do so. See how I pick up and move where the lines are? So the next product we're going to use is this Meinl cymbal cleaner. This is a spray-on cleaner that has some acids in it that we usually don't recommend using on any German-style gongs. However, they work really well on Chinese-style gongs, for instance. Anyways, for the sake of this video, we're going to apply this to this Paiste gong and see what happens. My expectation is that the rainbow ring that's on here will disappear. So what I've done to prep for that is I've put plastic around the majority of the gong and taped it on here so that we only spray this part. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now you can see just where the cleaner bled out from my plastic a little bit, right there in this vicinity. This was the section that I cleaned, and it really takes away the coloration. The heat marks, the rainbow is pretty much gone. A lot of this other stuff will come off if I keep using a little Meinl cleaner. However, the angle of that didn't let the cleaner rest very effectively, so you just have little splotches on the edges. But you can see it's very white there, and it still has a bronzish kind of hue to it with the other part of the middle circle. The next product we're going to use is this Meinl gong polish. Now, I'm pretty confident that this product will not remove the logos after using it. So we're going to use it in this section, right here. And like with most paste cleaners, you want to shake it up beforehand. And you just need a little bit. Okay, so after using the Meinl polish here and the Flitz here, I can tell you that this section of the gong is brightened up a little bit. Meinl gong polish, Flitz, Meinl cymbal cleaner. The next product we're going to use on this gong is Goddard's silver polish. Again, shake it up before use. and you don't need that much. Here we go. So it looks like the Goddard's stuff made this part a little bit brighter than the vinyl polish next to it here, but the ring stayed nice and strong on both sides. Almost similar to the Flitz down here. Next, we're going to apply the Sabian cymbal cleaner. This is another paste, so similarly to the Paiste and others, you'll want to shake it up. We're going to try this in a section of the gong with a logo as well. So after applying the Sabian cymbal cleaner, you can see that this section looks pretty much the same, aside from maybe that rainbow ring there. It's ever so slightly faded. Otherwise, a good cleaner. Keep in mind here that this little section in the middle was where the spray cleaner kind of overspilt across my lines. The Sabian cleaner did not create that little discoloration in the middle. So I expect the Paiste cymbal cleaner to be very similar to the Sabian paste style cymbal cleaner. We'll see how they compare on this gong. So we can notice here that where I actually put the drops of the Paiste cleaner onto the gong, you can see a little mark where it rested for not very long, but enough to leave a little droplet point. The rest of this looks fine, almost no different than when we started, but whatever chemical was in that cleaner in the center part here definitely left a residual mark just by resting. The last product we're going to use is this product called Gourds. I've never used this before. We'll see how it works. It separates very easily with time, so you definitely want to shake this one up. You can even hear a little mixing ball inside. We're going to apply it over the logo part where there's some screen print to see if it affects it or not. So there's definitely a little something more working in this chemical cleaner. As you can see, the gong's turning a little bit black, reminiscent to Flitz or other types of metal polishes and cleaners. So we'll see how this works out. Here's the section we used the Gourds cleaner on. It did a pretty good job. Honestly, I think the slight alteration here in the middle was from contact with another cleaner. While I was rubbing this on, you can imagine that, cleaning all of these areas would sometimes be a little hard to keep from cross-contaminating. But overall, I don't blame that small little segment on the Gourds cleaner. It looks pretty good. As far as I can tell, worked quite well overall. The last untouched segment of this gong, we're going to apply Renaissance wax to. It's a really wonderful microcrystalline wax, and it's very simple to apply. A very tiny bottle of this or container will last you a very long time unless you have a ton of gongs. Little bit on a paper towel. And again, like with everything, when you touch this section of your gong, go with the lines. Maybe your lines go different directions, but go with the scrapes. Obviously, it's harder to do that where there aren't lines, like in the middle or on the rim, but just apply gently. Renaissance wax can be a really valuable tool to have in your collection of products when you're traveling around with gongs, for instance. Especially if you're allowing other people to use them, because you know people want to touch your gong. And this really resists fingerprints quite well, and moisture, and oils. So maybe consider a little container of Renaissance wax with your next gong purchase, especially if you're going to be sharing your gong with others. This is the part that I'm not really looking forward to, because some of the cleaners have probably seeped under the tape in different areas, and we're going to see what it looks like after I remove all of the tape.